Ed Morgan, thanks so very much. It's time to climb in the Sulky, and my special guest this evening is Anthony MacDonald from thestable.ca. And it was not last Hambletonian, but the Hambletonian before, that right here on Racing from the Meadowlands, we broke the story that your wife was pregnant, and now we have a lovely little Adeline in the world, don't we?
Yeah, Amy wasn't happy with me that day. And in fairness, I told her, I said, I only told Dave. I only told Dave that you were pregnant. It wasn't my fault the camera was rolling.
And now she's 11 months old and doing well?
She is, yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw her actually in one of your vignettes on thestable.ca giving you some pointers about getting your horses together, going a minute and 20 with some of your one-year-olds.
She's a cute little girl, and she's healthy, and that's the most important thing is that she was premature, so I was obviously a little worried. With my wife, she was in the hospital over Christmas, and then Adeline was born December 29th. I think she was 7 weeks early, which was pretty scary for me, but both, her and Amy are good now, so they're very healthy, and that's all that matters.
So glad that everybody's doing well. Anthony, if we're going to talk about family, you and your family are from Prince Edward Island, and there's an awful lot of MacDonalds who roamed Prince Edward Island near Charlottetown Driving Park. I want to take a look at the first of 2 pages of a graphics package that I put together, and I call it a family affair. And it starts right at the top with your dad, Freddie, who works at Atlantic Post Calls as the boss.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Dad. I talk a lot, but he actually makes me look like a mute. So
Right.
he can really talk, and it's a good spot for him. He likes it, and it's good that him and Mom have something to do, and I'm happy with that. And it's a big family. I mean, Lloyd has worked with simulcasting his whole life. He comes up and helps us on the open house. You got Curtis, who is does the drone videos for us, and then has his own company. James drives, Mark drives, my brother Bobby also shoes. I mean, it's a big deal, harness racing for us. It means a lot for this family for sure.
Now, we know that you were obviously a much more prevalent driver a couple of years ago. Now the stable.ca keeps you awfully busy. James was an awful lot of races, but when you're at the Thanksgiving table, does Mark kind of stick it in? Hey, I've won the Little Brown Jug. I've won 700 races.
No, we don't allow him at the table anymore.
Oh, is that right?
No, he's
get
not
out
allowed.
of here. All right.
No.
All right, very good. So that's kind of a look at the MacDonald family, Prince Edward Island. I can tell you that the Gold Cup and Saucer every August is one of the great events in harness racing.
It really is. I mean, obviously I'm biased. I'm from PEI, but when you look at the way the town, absorbs.
Everybody goes.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And there's so much food, and the atmosphere is great, and everybody's so nice. I guess it's like the Little Brown Jug, but I think it's a little bit better. For me, again, I'm biased, but it's just a great time to be had there, and the people are so nice, and it's just great racing.
Now, the reason why you're here, we're talking about your company, thestable.ca. And basically, when I see people at the track here and they say, Dave, what do you like in the next race? And they, bet, $2 or $5, I say, listen, you yell just as loud at $2 as you do at $200.
That's right.
And that's more or less the same theory that you have for thestable.ca. Tell us about that.
Well, that's exactly it. And we were talking off air about it. I think, this industry it's been thought to be based on wagering forever, but before the wagering was always ownership or attending the horse races. And it's always important that people understand that when you look at horse racing, dollar for dollar is an entertainment value. I think horse racing really is superior to all other sports entities, and that's just the way I see it. When you look at how much it costs you to buy 1% of a horse, pay all your bills for a year, you can't go to a hockey game for that. You can't go to a baseball game for that. And I think people in this industry need to understand the value that's here, and we miss it on a daily basis.
Now, when you have a guy, let's take a guy like me, for instance. I'd love to buy a horse, and a couple of years ago I was thinking, gee, I got to get a $25,000 claimer. I got to feed this horse every day. I got to have the vet come in, and it just seemed to be too much of a costly, cost ineffective type of thing where I was at that point in my life financially. Now, do you have the type of company where a guy can show up with $5,000 and really feel like a horse owner?
Dave, you could show up with $500
right,
and feel like a horse owner, and that is the whole point. As I said to you before, it's all about getting people from their comfort zone in the general public back into this industry, and I think affordable ownership is the way to do it, and it isn't that hard. Just look at what we've done. I mean, out of my own pocket, we marketed and advertised in a way that brought 752 people into this industry over 5 years. 752 people in 12 countries are now owners in this game. And you might ask, how many of those people are new to the industry? Well over 300 of them. And that's what we want to get back to this winter, is bringing people out of the general public, the people that you see every single day at the beer store or the grocery store or the gym, and turn them into owners in horse racing. We can, because the value is simply there.
When people go to your site, and I did earlier today and yesterday, there are an awful lot of 1- and 2-year-olds, yearlings and 2-year-olds, I should say, who are available on the site.
Yep.
Don't people want more race horses, or do they want those young horses?
We always push people towards yearlings because if you buy a racehorse and it doesn't race well, you get in quick and you get out quick. But when you get involved with a yearling, you get to watch it get broke, you get to watch it jog, train down, talk to the trainers, come out. If you're in the area, feed the horse, look at it install, and that horse racing really seeps into your soul. And really that's what it's all about. Is we all know once horse racing gets into your blood, it never leaves. So it's all about immersing all these people in the experience of horse racing, and that's exactly what we try to do on a daily basis.
Now, one of the big keys for the stable.ca, I live in New Jersey. I want to buy a $1,000 share in Horse X. How do I follow his exploits online?
Well, simple. If you go to www.thestable.ca, you can see all the horses. You can see all their drone videos. You can see all the commentary that we put on there for those horses. So there's no shortage of entertainment for our clients. It doesn't matter whether you live in England or Ireland, you get the same experience that every single person does. And that's the beauty of it. As I said, we have the open house on Sunday. We have people coming from 8 states into Canada to literally watch their horses jog fast on Sunday and just be a part of the experience that we have. It's cold. I really didn't know how many people would come out, and Kelly had told me the other day, we've never had as many RSVPs for any of our open houses as we do right now. It's supposed to be -1 and not a great day on Sunday, but you have all these people that are like, yeah, I can't wait to come.
All right, so the open house takes place on Sunday. Why does it necessarily spur more business for you?
Well, anytime you can get people out, it's not just about seeing the singular horses, it's about being a part of the community, right? When you have that many people involved, we have, as I said, 752 clients in 12 countries, but we have 1,500 people on an email list,
right.
People that watch our videos all the time, and it's about being a part of something bigger. Anytime you can be a part of anything and it makes you feel like you're a part of something big, something that's growing, it's a great feeling, and that's what we try to do here.
So you can always stay abreast of all the goings-on by going to thestable.ca once you're on the hook, as it were.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't want to do that, you can download it on your phone on an app. You can go to the Stable on any of the iPhone or Android devices. You can download the stable.ca and follow us along in that way, and it's even much easier.
All right, before we let you go, where is the open house taking place? And if I live in New Jersey or Texas or anywhere else, how can I get involved in the open house this Sunday morning?
So you can see the open house live on Facebook. You can see it on YouTube. You can see it on Twitter. Follow thestable.ca, and you can watch it live if you want. If you want to actually come out to the facility, we're at 210 Campbellville Road, which is actually in Puzzlenitch, which is 10 minutes from Mohawk. There'll be lots of food there. There'll be lots of drinks there. It'll be a good time for everybody. It usually is.
Does thestable.ca have the next North America Cup and Meadowland Space winner?
Likely not.
Likely not.
We always want to win all the races, Dave, but it can't always be about winning all the best races. I mean, we always want to win the North American Cup. We want to win the Hamiltonian. But you know what we want to do? Is give everybody a good time, and that's something I can guarantee we can give. I don't know what races we're going to win. We're going to have a good time along the way.
There you have it. Anthony MacDonald, thestable.ca. The open house is Sunday morning. If you can't make it up to Campbellville, make it to the World Wide Web, and you'll see it at thestable.ca. Anthony, thanks so much for joining us.
No, I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Up next, Dave Brower will jump in Anthony's chair as Anthony jumps over to Newark Airport and goes back home, and we'll talk about tonight's featured action. We'll also talk about some of the Dan Patch Awards coming up next, right after this.